Yo, what is up, guys? Here with a new video. Today's video, we're actually going to be highlighting Volcarona. Volcarona is very prominent right now in the Series 10 meta. This is going to be a new series we're going to be running. It's going to be pretty much Pokemon of the Week. We're going to be talking through one Pokemon that I think is worth highlighting every single week, and giving you guys a recommended set and telling you guys why each is good. So make sure to let me know in the comments what you guys would like to see as Pokemon of the Week next week. I do take consideration to the comments as well, so let me know what Pokemon you guys would like to see me talk about next. But we are going to be touching on Volcarona today. So why is Volcarona so good? We see it pretty much spammed on all Xerneas teams, and we see it on some other teams. And pretty much the main reason why is just Volcarona is a very powerful redirector, and its typing actually contributes a lot to its usability. So when we look at Volcarona, right, at first Volcarona looks fairly frail. Its base stats aren't exactly the highest, but if you EV it properly, it can actually be pretty bulky. And its move pool is also something that's a huge asset for it. Specifically, as you're looking at the most common moves, Struggle Bug, Whirlwind, and Rage Powder. So Whirlwind is really good for phasing out stuff like Substitute Zacian and Xerneas. You can also phase out Gothitelle as well, so that's really nice. Struggle Bug is really good for reducing special attack of the opposing mons. There are a lot of special attackers in this format, so it's actually very useful. And that actually makes it a super good almost damage sponge. If you're able to get those Struggle Bugs off, it's a really, really good damage sponge. Now, not only that, but because of its ability Flame Body, it's actually able to eat up most hits and actually burn the opponent. So the reason why it's so good right now as a redirector, especially in a Zacian and Xerneas dominated meta, specifically versus Zacian in this instance, it's able to just redirect, and if Zacian goes for a Behemoth Blade or a Sacred Sword into this Volcarona, and it gets a bit unlucky, the 30% chance for Flame Body 2 is like a pretty high chance. The Zacian's burn is pretty much ruined for the whole game. Not only that, but they have to get through your Volcarona to reach your partner, which is typically like Xerneas or another restricted. So you can pretty much just spam Rage Powder, force them to target into you, and keep risking that burn. And by the time they get to your partner Pokemon, it's fully set up, you've done enough damage, or you've burned them, and then you can get something in like Intimidate from Incineroar or something like that, and then it puts you in a very good position. So that's pretty much the main strengths of this. Now, also, too, with the recommended set that we actually have there, I wanted to give you guys a good Volcarona set. It's actually, you'll see it's an edited set from our previous rental team. Make sure to check the previous videos if you guys would like to see that. The spread itself is designed to live Urshifu Surging Strikes, so it takes 3 Urshifu Surging Strikes. You proc Citrus Berry, and with Flame Body as well, you have a pretty good chance to live another set of Surging Strikes, assuming you get the early burn. So that's actually very solid, and it gives you a lot of bulk. The extra special defense as well helps versus Xerneas. It also helps versus Calyrex Shadow, so you can get a Struggle Bug off, so that's super, super useful. And then, obviously, Citrus Berry is just really nice for recovery. So the main thing to consider, too, when you're using Volcarona is you want to use it as a supportive mon, is able to support your partners. You don't really want to use it as an offensive option. So the reason why it's not so good as an offensive option is because Volcarona itself has such a good kit to support partners that want to set up that it doesn't really make sense to set it up itself. It's mostly frail when you don't invest it into bulk. And on top of that, there are more efficient mons that can actually do a lot more damage. So you're pretty much picking like a second rate pretty much setup mon with Volcarona. So like it's better to use it as a supporter than as the kind of setup mon. But yeah, so we're going to talk through some of the common leads that we have listed down below. So Volcarona Xerneas, obviously very common pair. So Volcarona Xerneas obviously able to get that Geomancy up for Xerneas. Super, super important. Basically, any team with Xerneas typically wants to run Volcarona or Amoonguss. Volcarona right now is a little bit more of the premier redirector, mostly because of the aforementioned things with the Rage Powder, Flame Body, and then obviously Citrus Berry to like take hits. So it does make it very strong next to Xerneas. It also redirects steel moves, and that's obviously not going to be very effective against Volcarona, so it can consistently do that. So that's like the main strength there. Obviously, you also have the option of going for Whirlwind against opposing Xerneas, which helps your own Xerneas really just thrive. And then you have Struggle Bug as well to also weaken opposing Xerneas and also special attacking mons so that you can help your Xerneas get set up more safely. Now, the next mon I have appeared next to is Groudon. So we haven't seen much of Groudon in this format. I still do expect it to be fairly okay. It is something I think we're going to see pick up a little bit more as the format progresses, but the main reason why I have it paired with Groudon is kind of to push forward the example that most of these mons would like to set up, or they would like to go for attacks while they're protected. So Groudon, one of those mons, able to go for Swords Dance, is protected by Volcarona. If you look at Groudon's weaknesses, which typically are grass types, right, which you obviously can't redirect with Rage Powder, but you have a fire type next to it to actually go for Heat Waves, and also ice moves, which it can completely redirect. So that's very good for Volcarona. But yeah, so Volcarona obviously able to redirect those moves, allow Groudon to set up safely, and obviously it has Sword Dance, Precipice Blade, so you can really just click spread moves a bunch with them. So that's like super, super nice. Then for the final pairing, ironically, the one thing that actually completely walls Zacian is also a really good partner for Zacian. So Volcarona pairs really nicely with Zacian for a couple reasons. So Zacian can run Swords Dance. Typically it likes to run Substitute a little bit more, but even then, having something that can consistently spam Struggle Bug, Heat Wave, Whirlwind to consistently cycle out the opponent, even Rage Powder so you can get up a free substitute, is very, very strong because Zacian really just wants to go for hits consistently. And if you're able to get consistent hits off without being touched or your sub getting broken, that just means you get to click it more consistently and you can't be intimidated. So it actually pairs really well with Zacian. Typically, the main reason why you'll see paired with Zacian as well is because it can redirect stuff like Lander's Eye, Earth Powers. Because Lander's Incarnate is actually a little bit better than Therian in this format at the moment. So yeah, those are a couple of the main reasons why you want those. Also, to spin back, obviously, to the main point of Volcarona, I want to re-emphasize, you always want it as a redirection mon for the most part. It is just better in that role. It makes a lot more sense there, and it's going to help your partners a lot more. So, hopefully this was a helpful video for you guys. I want to do one of these a week just to give you guys an update on one of the current mons in the meta to really explain why they're good. I typically like to pick the ones that are more interesting to talk about, but yeah. So, once again, guys, I super appreciate all support on the videos. Hopefully, you guys enjoy this series. Keep an eye out for some XDL videos coming out soon. And also, make sure to check out X9 Academy if you guys are interested in my coaching. Make sure to check out the Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. So, super appreciate you guys. Thank you for all the support, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Peace.